there, Mike, too.
Really glad that one's over with. There's been so much build up since the day Coach Foley and I started talking about it. I think it was a great day for women's basketball in our state, and just excited to be a part of it. We played really well. I would rather be audited by the IRS, have a colonoscopy, and have a dentist appointment the same day than have to play against a Coach Foley, Bobby Brazel, Cash, and Wiedauer coach team. This is a team that's going to do exactly what they've done for the last 3 years. They're getting ready to go about 22-3 between now and the end of the year and be an NCAA tournament team. They're starting to figure it out. I'm glad it wasn't today. Yeah, okay.
I brought this up to Joe. It looked like they actually executed their sets. They just weren't able to finish. How much of that was defense and how much of that was them? And
probably all of them. We didn't do a very good job at guarding some of it. They're impossible to guard because you don't know what's coming. You can't scout them. And we're a heavy scout team. We love to watch film and get play calls and predict and use all the analytics. You throw those out against the Coach Foley program. And that's what I'm telling you. They're starting to figure it out. He'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. He's got a lot of young kids. And I said it before the game. We weren't falling for the banana and the tailpipe trick. Everybody tried to trick us into whatever their record was. We've seen that movie before. So they did execute. I thought they picked us apart at times. I thought the first to the third quarter, they got absolutely what they wanted. Even in the end of the second quarter, I thought for about a 6-minute span in there, they were by far the better team. So I think that's a sign of what's getting ready to come the next how many ever games they have.
Foley was joking. It was kind of funny to see a hog call, and normally he does that, and today certainly didn't. But what was it like for you to see these two teams in the same court?
Being from the state and wanting to see it and knowing, I know it happened in the men's game, sometimes. Being a part of it is really cool. I wish it wouldn't have been against Coach Foley. But that's the way it worked. I'm glad that we got to get it done. I think it took a lot of hard work on a lot of people's parts to get it done on a day when we had the men's game coming up next. And to have a crowd like we had, Little Rock's embraced us, and to have the hog call down here is pretty cool. I have a lot of kids I have 2 former players at Washington on my staff from Washington. And we were at the hotel last night and they were like, did they do that whole Razorback room in there just for us? I said, no, it's there year round. And it's fun to see somebody that's outside perspective sometimes on, how the Razorbacks are perceived no matter where you go. And there's so many people that hugged our necks and said, thank you for getting this game down here. It's the first time we've seen a game, a lot of firsts. So we'll start to hopefully this, I think, we've already got it planned for next year, but I hope this becomes something we can do every single year. Our game needs it.
Coach Neighbors, here we are. Christmas is a couple days away. I don't know if you grade your team's first half, but where do you want to go in this next couple weeks as conference play gets here?
If you would have told me we were going to be 11-1 against the schedule we had and the way they backed up back-to-back at times and quick travel, I would have said let's just fast forward. I don't care which 11 they were or where the loss came. That's been our team's performed well if we've got that. We should finish the holidays ranked, which hasn't happened for these kids, this particular team, and the program in a long time. So I want them to go home and unpack it all and realize that they've done a lot of really cool things. I think there's still work to be done. We've got a lot of deficiency areas that we've got to clean up before we play UT Martin, even before the SEC schedule starts. But our first 2 weeks of the SEC schedule is really brutal. So we've got to – it's a good time for us. We're done with finals, so now we can really focus on basketball. And we've got a couple of kids getting back healthy. Kiara Williams still not 100%. Atiana Galden is obviously getting closer to 100%. And, getting some new faces and some experience. Kiara's that's a 2-year starter for us. Getting her back will help us. So lots of cool things that we can work on between now and the SEC without having to go to class. Yeah.
How big a game is this for Tolfree?
It's important to her because, she's prideful. This is an Arkansas prideful kid. And to be able to get down here and get closer to her where she played in this gym. She played against Kyra. She played against a lot of these people. I was giving her a hard time because she got to drive her car down because, she gets to stay here for the holidays. I said, you're so grown up now. But she has really matured. a freshman. Your first year at a 4-year school after playing junior college, you feel like a freshman all over again. And to see her not only shoot the ball but pass the ball, defend, make the next pass. A lot of times when she had a couple of shots today, I think she passed to get Amber or Chelsea a better open shot. And that's a maturity thing that's really fun. It was good I was so proud she had a good game. We absolutely shot it in practice yesterday like we've never seen a basketball or a goal. And everybody, we kind of got Jedi mind tricked. We'd heard this is a tough shooting environment, and we talked ourselves into it. We couldn't make a shot. So when we made our first couple, I think Ramirez hit the first one of the game, didn't she? Is that right? Anyway, that was a little bit of breath of relief there that the thing actually would go through the net.
Coach Foley said you guys didn't talk at all this week.
Nah.
What'd you say before the game and then afterwards?
Just it was good to see him, checked in on him. I knew that Miranda and his family was here, checked on Chris and how the holidays were going. We don't call each other a lot during the season. It's always kind of a when we see each other type deal. But I've learned from like Coach Blair and Vic and all these other guys that week, if you get too caught up in being friends, like I'm not strong enough, I'll give away a secret. I mean, I'm terrible. So you don't tell me what you're getting for Christmas. I will tell. Everybody hit me about the football coach. They were like, hey, who's our football coach? I said, there is no way Hunter Yurchek is telling me anywhere he's going because I'll tell somebody. That's how big a fan I am and how big of a mouth I have sometimes. But no, I wasn't about to call him and give him any because I was reading the paper. He was trying to set me up. I've fallen for it on the golf course. I am not falling for it in a basketball game.
Joe was actually, I won't say all smiles, but he looked pretty happy because of the performance of his two freshmen that you probably hadn't even seen. I mean, she played 40 minutes, and she hadn't played 40 minutes the entire season.
Yeah, he pulled one on us. He started a kid who's played 5 minutes, wasn't on the scouting report, so I didn't know what it was going to be, but he should be happy. I mean, they should be very ecstatic. I'll tell you this, we've got a good team. I know we do, and this is not – I hate it that this is the first year. I'm sure he's going to say he's got a young team, and we've probably got our best team we've had in a while. I'm sure he would have rather played this game 4 or 5 years ago, and I get that. I'm glad that we get it going. I've said already when the game came out, we will lose this game eventually. They are and have been the flagship women's basketball team in the country, in our state. Been to the NCAA tournament more than we have, and if we don't use that as a blueprint and a guide and fuel, then I think we're missing a chance. If you don't learn from watching them play and how he's built a program, then I'm being deficient with our program and our team. And I hope it allows us to pull for each other the rest of the way out too. There's never been a time when I've pulled against a Joe Foley team or Little Rock, but now we can really pull for each other, I think, because we each help each other. RPI is going to continue to go up for the both of us when they go on these win streaks that I know is coming.
What does it say that he could coach a freshman in practice and have her ready to play 40 minutes against you? I mean, she played, maybe she got a little tired at the end, but she did play 40 minutes, and she had only played 47 minutes the entire season.
Scary. Yeah, it's scary on what he does with development. And he finds kids that fit how he coaches. Not everybody can. Not everybody can do it, but the kids that do it turn into kids like that. I hate to see this team 3 or 4 years from now when we're trying to play them, and we've got some freshmen, Hopefully by then I've learned how to do what he does, but it just speaks to why he's a winner wherever he is. I've always said I would never want to go into a gym where he got to pick which bench he coached, because I'm pretty sure he'd have a good chance to win with either side. So we'll learn from him. His freshmen, his upperclassmen, they'll get it going. I'm telling you, we've all seen it, so it's just a matter of time.
Chelsea, her game today, and being able to have that special moment with her, and just those kind of things that you get to do.
We've been tracking it because she transfers 244 points over from Oklahoma, but I didn't want to get into that debate yet on whether those points count for Arkansas or not yet. So I said, let's just wait till she gets 1,000 here, because I think it was 49 games. Is that right? Close? We'll have to go. I got Mario stumped. I was sorry. I didn't mean to. I think it's 49 games. Y'all have to go back, and they'll give him something to check on. I think she reached 1,000 points in 49 games. I wasn't leaving her in to get it because it's a matter of time. But when she got fouled, I want to put a little pressure on her to make the free throw. But that was a really cool moment. And to get John Williams on the broadcast to let everybody know about it, really, really neat. And I just told her, I said, hey, we're not doing this if she doesn't decide to come over here and help us. She was a catalyst. She was a key part of coming in with Mal and Bailey and Dev and all those guys that were here already, Jalen Mason at that time, and getting us pointed in the right direction. And then helping bring other players around, the other pieces. So cool little Christmas present for everybody to get to experience.
Any other questions for Coach Neighbors?
Coach, do you ever foresee this game being played up in Fayetteville or at Little Rock's home?
We talked about it, yeah. I think so. I mean, I don't know where they're at with it, but the day we talked about it, we talked about doing it 2 years on a neutral site. We want to play in Little Rock every year. And it just makes sense, if we're going to do that, for it to be against UALR. And I think if we continue to be able to set the date early enough, I think there's a day that we're going to have to open the upper deck for it. And our sport is healthy all the way down. We have so many good high school coaches, so many grassroots summer people. And we have to be united. Our state is too small to be divided in anything. And we've got to find a way to unite all of us to where, for women's basketball specifically, a game that's always hungry for attention, we've got to give people reason to notice us. And a game like this, you kind of have to notice. But yeah, we talked about doing it at Stevens and at Bud Walton, but we'll probably have to start in Fayetteville because they're going to be really good that year. So yeah, we've talked about it, and if Coach will take me to play golf still, we'll talk about it some more. All right, see everybody at the men's game.